The city of Solace Point was built on ashes. Decades ago, a fire had devoured half of it, leaving only smoke and silence. But people rebuilt, because that's what humans do. They rise from what burns them. Yet some fires never die. They live on, inside hearts, inside memories, inside people. Aiden Rasa was one of those people. He was 24, an auto mechanic by day, and a restless soul by night. His hands were always warm, too warm, like his blood ran hotter than most. His coworkers joked he was born in a furnace. They weren't entirely wrong. Because when Aiden was 10, his home caught fire. Everyone thought it was an accident. But Aiden knew better. He remembered the way the flames had shaped themselves into a hand and reached for him. He remembered how they hadn't burned him. How they had whispered to him. "We are yours," the fire had said. That night, his parents died. And something inside Aiden woke up. Since then, the fire never left. Aiden lived a quiet life in Solace Point's industrial district. He fixed cars, kept his head down, and ignored the strange warmth in his chest. But lately, it had been growing stronger. Sometimes, when he got angry, the wrenches glowed red in his hands. Once, he burned through a steel bolt with his bare fingers. "You need a doctor," his best friend Kara told him. "I need answers," Aiden replied. Kara was the only person who knew about the fire. She'd been there the night his house burned. She'd seen him walk out unscathed, surrounded by embers. "You think it's a mutation?" she asked one night. "I think it's a curse," he muttered. But that theory changed the night he met Dr. Lucien Vale. Vale was a scientist obsessed with energy anomalies. He claimed he could help Aiden understand his gift. "It's not a curse," Vale said. "It's evolution." He invited Aiden to his research facility on the outskirts of the city. Aiden hesitated. But the fire in his chest whispered, "Go." And so, he went. He didn't know he was walking straight into the inferno's mouth. The facility looked ordinary: metal walls, glass corridors, white lights. But the deeper Aiden went, the colder it felt. He could sense electricity humming through the walls. "Energy is alive, Mr. Rasa," Vale said as they walked. "Your fire is not an accident, it's a conduit." "A conduit for what?" "For the planet's pulse." Aiden frowned. "That sounds insane." Vale smiled. "So does walking out of a fire without a scratch." They reached a large containment chamber. Wires, electrodes, sensors, all surrounding a steel chair. "Sit," Vale said softly. "What are you going to do?" "Measure your potential." Aiden sat. The moment the electrodes touched his skin, the fire inside him stirred. The lights dimmed. The machines whined. "Your energy output is astronomical," Vale whispered in awe. "You're the first of your kind." "The first what?" "The first Ember born." The fire roared in Aiden's veins. "Stop," he shouted. The machines exploded. Flames shot out from his body like wings of light. The walls melted. Vale stared, mesmerized. "Magnificent," he breathed. "You lied to me." Aiden screamed. "You're a weapon, Aiden. The world needs weapons. Then it can burn." He unleashed the inferno. The facility went up in flames. Aiden fled into the night, smoke curling behind him like a cloak. The city burned in his dreams. Every night, he saw fire swallowing Solace Point again. He woke sweating, glowing faintly. "You can't keep running," Kara told him. "He'll come after me." "Then let him." "You don't understand. I can't control it." She grabbed his hand. "Then learn." So Aiden trained. He learned to breathe through the heat, to shape it, to focus it. Flames bent to his will, dancing, curling, calming. He discovered he could absorb fire as easily as create it. He became his own fuel. But with every use, the voice inside grew stronger. More, it whispered. Burn brighter. He tried to resist. But part of him liked the power. And that scared him most of all. Weeks later, Vale resurfaced. The news called him a philanthropist rebuilding Solace Point's power grid. Aiden knew better. Vale was collecting energy signatures, hunting for him. He's building something, Kara said. Something huge. Then we end it before it starts. Aiden donned a mask and dark jacket lined with fire-resistant threads. He became Ember, the man of living flame. His first mission, infiltrate Vale's new power nexus. The building stood like a monolith in the city's heart. He entered through the ventilation shafts. His heartbeat synced with the hum of generators. In the main chamber, he found it, a massive orb pulsating with orange light. Project Phoenix, the console read. Vale's voice echoed behind him. Beautiful, isn't it? A machine that harnesses the fire of evolution. You're using people. Aiden shouted. Only the gifted, Vale said. Those who can survive the flames. You're murdering them. I'm making gods. You're making monsters. Vale smiled. That's what gods look like to mortals. He pressed a button. The orb cracked open, revealing a human silhouette inside. It was covered in molten armor. Meet my first success, Vale said. Project Ignis. The being stepped forward, fire burning where its eyes should be. He's like me, Aiden whispered. He's better, Vale replied. Ignis attacked. The room exploded in heat and fury. Ember ducked as molten blast scorched the walls. He countered with a wave of blue flame. Ignis absorbed it, grinning. You can't fight fire with fire, Vale taunted. Watch me, Aiden growled. He ignited fully, his body turning to living flame. The two collided, light against light, heat against heat. The floor melted. Glass shattered. Their roars shook the tower. Kara's voice came through his earpiece. Aiden. The core's destabilizing. Then we end this now. Aiden tackled Ignis into the orb. Energy surged through both of them. Ignis screamed. Vale ran for the control panel. You'll kill us all, he yelled. Then burn with us. The orb exploded. Flame swallowed the nexus. The city skyline glowed orange as a new sun was born. When Aiden woke, everything was ash. The nexus was gone. Vale's body was nowhere to be found. Kara found him barely alive, his body smoldering. You did it, she said. No, he whispered. It's not over. He could feel Ignis, alive somewhere. And he could still hear Vale's voice echoing in his mind. Phoenixes don't die, Aiden. They rise. Aiden clenched his fists. Then I'll be the one to burn them down again. Months passed. Solace Point began to heal. People started calling Ember a hero. He didn't feel like one. Every night, he patrolled the streets, stopping crimes, saving lives. But deep down, he knew something darker was coming. Reports of spontaneous fires began surfacing worldwide. People bursting into flames and surviving. There are more like you, Kara said. Or like Ignis, Aiden replied grimly. Vale had succeeded in spreading the Ember gene. Now the world was catching fire. The first Emberborn appeared in Russia, a woman named Nadia Vekta who melted tanks with her hands. Then another in Japan, Hiro Sato, who ignited plasma storms. Within a month, 20 were confirmed worldwide. The media called them miracles. Governments called them threats. Aiden called them orphans of the flame. You can't fight all of them, Kara warned. I'm not fighting them. I'm finding them. He traveled city to city, seeking those like him. Some he convinced to control their powers. Others, consumed by rage, refused. One by one, cities burned. Vale's voice haunted every disaster broadcast. "You can't stop evolution, Ember. Watch me," Aiden whispered to the screen. In Morocco, Aiden found Ignis again. The molten warrior had become a god among followers. "We are the future," Ignis declared to the crowd. "We will purge the weak." "You'll destroy everything," Aiden said, stepping forward. "Destruction is rebirth." "No, redemption is." They clashed again. Sand turned to glass beneath their feet. Flames reached the horizon. Aiden pushed himself beyond control. His flames turned white-hot, purer than ever. "Enough," he roared. He unleashed the solar burn, fire so bright it erased shadow itself. When it cleared, Ignis was gone, vaporized. Aiden fell to his knees, exhausted. The crowd watched in silence. "He was your brother," one shouted. "He was my mistake," Aiden said quietly. Years passed. The Emberborn became legends. Most disappeared into exile. Governments outlawed their existence. Aiden lived alone on a mountain, away from civilization. Kara visited once a year. "You look tired," she said. "I'm tired of burning," he replied. "You could stop." "Fire doesn't stop, Kara. It just waits." He stared at the sunset, flames reflecting in his eyes. Vale's dream isn't dead. Someone will try again. Then what? Then I'll rise again. Epilogue: The eternal flame. Decades later, Solace Point thrived. Technology advanced beyond imagination. But strange anomalies began again, bursts of light in the night sky. Scientists detected energy matching the old Ember signature. And one night, deep in the mountains, an explosion lit up the clouds. A silhouette walked out of the crater, glowing like dawn. "He's back," someone whispered. The man opened his eyes, flames flickering within. "The world forgot," he said softly. "Let me remind it." He raised his hands. The sky burned. Part 2, Ember Reborn. Aiden, older, stronger, wiser, walked through a city rebuilt in chrome. Drones hovered overhead. Neon lights painted the world in false fire. "This isn't life," he muttered. "It's simulation." The people had replaced warmth with electricity. But in their perfect world, something cold had crept in: apathy. Then he saw her, a young girl standing amid flames, untouched. "You," he said. She turned, eyes glowing gold. "They call me Nova," she said. "You're one of us. The next generation." "Who made you?" "You did?" "Impossible. You started the Ember gene, Aiden. We are your legacy." "Legacy or curse? Depends on what we do with it." Nova showed him a hidden city underground. Dozens of young Emberborn lived there, training, controlling, creating light instead of destruction. "We've learned balance," she said. "Fire can heal." Aiden felt tears burn his eyes. "Maybe I was wrong about us." "You weren't wrong," Nova said softly. "You were early." He smiled. "Then let's finish what I started." Together, they built the Ember Foundation, a force for global restoration. Their power regenerated burned forests. They purified polluted skies. Fire became a symbol of renewal, not ruin. The world began to hope again. And in that hope, the flames finally rested. Final chapter: The Ember Within. Years later, old and weary, Aiden sat before a campfire. Nova sat beside him. "You think the fire ever ends?" she asked. "No," he said, smiling faintly. "It just finds new hearts." He looked into the flames and saw faces: Kara, Vale, Ignis, his parents. "Everything I loved, I lost to fire," he whispered. "And everything you saved," Nova said, "you saved with it." He nodded. "Maybe fire isn't destruction. Maybe it's memory." Then you'll never be forgotten. The wind blew, and the fire flickered. Aiden closed his eyes. Rest now, the flames whispered back. His body turned to light. The fire dimmed, then reignited, brighter, purer, eternal. The world watched as the sky shimmered. A new star appeared above Solace Point. Scientists called it a phenomenon. The Ember-born called it a sign. Nova smiled. He's watching. The fire beside her danced. She stood, flame reflecting in her eyes. Then I'll keep it alive, she said. The city glowed in warmth once more. People gathered under the starlit sky. Children whispered about the man of fire. The legend grew, a myth turned faith. In every hearth, every torch, every sunrise, they saw his spark. Generations later, stories still began the same way. There once was a man who walked through fire and never burned. And what happened to him, the children asked. The elders smiled. He became the flame that guards us all. Somewhere, in the flicker of a candle, his voice still whispered, "Don't fear the fire. Become it." And so the world burned, not in chaos, but in light. The fire of humanity's soul endured. Heroes changed, cities rose and fell, time passed. But one truth never faded. The ember within every heart, waiting to ignite when courage calls. It was never just his gift. It was everyone's. And thus, the world lived, forever lit by the ember within.